Which house populates Aries in your natal or birth chart? Once you understand that, you'll be able to unlock the purpose of what this Venus and Mercury retrograde means for you. I'm Boy. You're awesome. Let's talk about it. Over the next month or so, both Venus and Mercury are in retrograde, meaning they're retracing their steps back through Aries. So once you understand what house Aries is in, we can isolate what area of your life will most probably be impacted. Venus has been in the sign of Aries since the 5th of February. Now, it started retrograding on the 2nd of March. Meaning from the 5th of Feb to the 2nd of March, Venus was in the sign of Aries doing its thing. This is very competitive. It's very full on. It likes to pursue what it enjoys and what it desires. It's definitely an in pursuit kind of energy. It's not on the receiving end. And Venus doesn't really like that because Venus is all about how we receive things and how we cooperate. Aries is very much about getting something for yourself. I am number one, taking the world head on. Venus isn't like that at all. Again, it's about finding harmony, finding balance, finding an equality. So Venus isn't really that sophisticated while it's operating in Aries. It can be very impatient, very impulsive, especially with its love life, its romance, and its spending. It's got quite a fierce nature about it and can be susceptible to anger and frustration, and it is very willing to lash out if it doesn't get its way. Venus has a lot to do with how we relate to stuff. So relating to our relationships, people in our life, one-to-one relationships, for example, situations, events, material possessions. Whatever you can apply value to, Venus usually has a testimony or has a say on. Now that Venus is in retrograde, it actually has to reflect on some of those actions. Now, you may have been the conduit of some of these energetics, or you could have very well been on the receiving end. In any case, these themes will circle back around as we reflect, retrace our steps, and kind of reprogram our own self-worth, what we find valuable, and how we want to move forward in terms of how do we receive and cooperate with others. Are you chasing intimacy? Or are you avoiding intimacy? Are you chasing the bag, making the investment, or are you avoiding that? Now, if you're watching this after the 14th of March, you would have just experienced the total lunar eclipse in Virgo. Now, this would have asked you to be very realistic, almost perfectionistic. Those of you that have heavy Virgo placements may have been very critical of who you are and what you represent. Additionally, during this total lunar eclipse in Virgo, many of you would have had to confront some medical issues that you'd been putting off. But in a nutshell, Virgo, why are you so hard on yourself? Anyway, context is everything. Mercury rules Virgo. Now, the very next day after that total lunar eclipse, Mercury turns retrograde in Aries. Meaning this total lunar eclipse in Virgo probably initiates something that you need to start reflecting on. Were you too over the top? Were they too over the top? Did you spend too much money? Did you miss out on an opportunity because you didn't spend the money? It really depends on the house about what area was impacted, if you get my drift. In any regard, this Virgo full moon is asking you to consider the consequences of what words were said, what actions were taken in this time. Are you speaking your authentic truth, or are you recycling other people's opinions? Are your desires your own? When you think about yourself, is that your own thoughts, your own opinions, or are you recycling other people's patterns? Zooming out for a second, on a collective level, we are all reprogramming our social conditioning, and this Venus-Mercury retrograde will ask you to circle back around to some of that conditioning and really question it. Now, Mercury is very much about how you communicate. The thoughts that you generate in your head, that you transact through your words to other people. Mercury entered Aries around the 4th of March, meaning that if you have got in any conflicts verbally with others, or you've had to negotiate with others and you've ripped them off or they've ripped you off, this will all circle back around at this point. There is going to be some very harsh criticism employed by both parties. There is going to be a lot of mixed signals and very dynamic, turbulent emotions in this time for the next month or so. Think about it like your insightfulness versus your impulsiveness. Pause before you react. Revisit your relationships. to yourself. What is your self-worth? What are you worth in this situation? Are you willing to die on the hill for it, stand up for yourself, or will you choose your battles wisely? This doesn't have to be chaotic energy at all. What you speak and what you seek can align. So moving forward into the next astrological year, you can be on the front foot, going out there, getting what you desire, and cooperating beautifully with others. I'm Sukboy, you're awesome. Hope that helps. Okay, bye.